Once in a while.
Hentai the video
live
game.
streaming hentai.
Live streaming?
Yeah.
I think I know how to do that. I could never figure that out. No, I probably could. Why? Why would I do that? It can't be interesting.
Alright, Sean, maybe you can answer this one.
Oh, okay.
Sean, maybe you can answer this one.
Yeah.
Why is it that when you're talking to an adult, all they ever talk to you about is school? Like it's like, how's school going, champ?
Fuck about
Okay,
school.
they don't care.
This is
it's an easy
American
topic.
culture where everyone focuses
It's for you,
on
maybe.
what do you do? You're like,
No, it's like for the adult to ask. We don't know what you're doing besides school.
Like, what are your hobbies? It's like, what do you do?
Yeah,
it's just an extension
what are you
of
into?
that.
Not like, what are you into? What shows do you like?
And also, like, imagine if you were talking to someone in, like, 8th grade. Like if you needed to start a conversation with someone in 8th grade right now, you'd be like, oh, how's school?
Yeah.
Because, like, you don't know anything about them other than that they go to school. They're 8th graders.
What could you
Okay, to be fair, 8th graders don't have a lot of life experience, so it's not like they have a lot
But,
of
like, compare that to
worldly-
that 70-year-old who's talking to a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing.
You're 70 years old. Okay, I understand, like, there's an age
like-
disconnect between, like, what was interesting, like, 50 years ago and what's interesting right now. But still, given that you're 70 years old, you should have a wealth of knowledge to draw upon.
Yeah.
Unless you have Alzheimer's.
And it's the knowledge and the knowledge you know is that they go to school.
Yeah, but here's
Yeah,
the thing.
That's about them. You have your own
different
knowledge about stuff that you know about.
Yes, like cars.
You can't just go up to
People
someone
like
and be
cars.
like,
All about cars.
hey, I like
It's a very easy question. That's the thing.
Like,
You're in and out. If you don't truly want to talk to that child, just say, "How's school? Good. Conversation over."
No, but if you're trying to make conversation,
Then you continue the
shouldn't
conversation from
immediately
there, like,
go
oh,
to
so
school.
Where do you go?
Okay,
Or
honestly, if I'm talking to an older person, I'm not in a school setting. Yeah. Right?
No,
like,
no
the teachers
way.
know how school's going.
Don't need to
They're
ask me
there,
how school's going, yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, my parents want to know, how was your day?
Good.
Fine. All right, I went to school. Whatever. Like, they know that.
I didn't
You
die
understand.
today, it was great.
Yeah, I shot myself in the head with a .44 Magnum. All right?
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah, there you go.
Kinda.
That's my day. That's my
Okay,
day.
my question is, why is this such a stressful question?
There's like nothing to say about it, that's the thing.
Okay, then the conversation's over.
You're throwing me back
want
into
me
the
to go into
hellhole
a
that is the
tyrant,
American
like,
education system.
No, that's the thing. I
guys
really
are
just don't have
overreacting.
anything
Yes,
to
I
say.
am.
I have like
Like,
20 people ask me during the holidays, "Oh, how's school? Oh, it's good." That's it.
Then what?
That's it.
You leave
No,
it
why
Then why do it? Why do it at all?
Because there are people
I
who
think-
want the conversation to go somewhere, and they
Want the fucking
start.
conversation?
No, the way.
Do you want the conversation to go somewhere? No,
He's like,
exactly.
he's
Say
the one
you're
who
good.
started it.
No, but what if you sit down with
Yeah,
your
that's what I'm
grandpa,
saying,
right?
like, so
and you're
who
just trying to
cares?
like ask
They
him
want
like,
a
"How have
conversation.
you
Okay,
been,
give him
Grandpa?
one.
What's up?" And he just goes like, school." Like, wouldn't you rather have him tell you like a war story or something?
Exactly, yes.
No, but here's why I hate that question.
I don't have a fucking war story.
Listen.
Usually it's just in
Well, obviously
passing.
you don't have a
It's
war
obviously
story.
just like an in passing question.
Right,
Let's like sit down with somebody.
Yeah, but if you're at dinner and
Yeah,
you
no, you can't say it's bad.
Because
No,
they're
no,
like, oh, why?
No
And then you have
one's
to
hear that.
talk.
yeah.
Fuck off.
If you just say good,
Half the time it was like,
That's
it
it.
sucks.
It sucks.
It wasn't that
It's
great.
cool. What do
Yeah.
you want?
But I have to say, how was your day?
That's why I
Good.
get
Because if I
involved.
say,
Like,
wasn't
this
that
is
great?
stuff. Like,
then-
I don't know.
they're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I just
All
want
right, me and
conversation.
Kaz have determined this is a white people problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I'm done.
It's a like.
White people don't like talking to their parents and grandparents, okay?
Just hit 'em with, okay,
I'd rather
thanks,
if I
bye,
have to,
don't talk
like,
to me anymore. Like,
If I'm sitting down to dinner with family, like extended family, you know, like get people who haven't seen me for maybe like 2 or 3 months, right? All right, yeah, they're gonna ask the school question, but really, I want to know, like, wouldn't you want to know what else I've been up to?
No, okay.
Like, really, like, I haven't seen you in 3 months. I know you've probably been working. Like, don't you have? And like, adults always talk to each other about work, right? And I guess like the closest thing we have is school, but like, there's other things that we do. We don't
I
have
have work
work
stories.
stories. I mean, Chasm does
I
because
have
he
work
works.
stories.
I did kill that shit.
Man, working like in a cubicle though, it's like, oh yeah, there was this one problem. I was really dumb, and then I looked up online.
But
how to
like
not be
usually,
dumb.
like your work stories aren't about like the work you're doing.
Yeah.
Like
It's
and
just
so it's kind of
shit
like, hey, Chasm,
Exactly.
how many Xannies did you count today?
Like,
Usually just tells us that.
Yeah, like my dad doesn't talk about like whatever he actually did for work. He talks about how like his
The other
office is like
people.
really fucking cold for some goddamn reason. He can't figure
We
out
talked
why.
about, yeah, my coworker came in drunk. It was really funny.
Yeah,
Someone
exactly,
got
right.
fired.
Yeah.
Shit that happens.
Or like,
and I think
oh,
with
my
the needle
office
in
is
his
cold. It's
arm.
like,
Someone
you know what
overdosed
else is
in the
really cold?
bathroom.
And then it goes from there.
Exactly. Yes.
Like you start with school. It's like, hey, old person. It's like old person asks, how was school today? How's school been going? Good. Hey, you've been out of school for a long time. Yeah.
What are you doing now?
Can you see how this doesn't go anywhere?
See, at this point, unfortunately,
Where's
my
fucking
grandparents
conversation?
have figured out
I don't
that
understand the
I don't want to talk about myself at
fucking
all.
conversation.
They do.
I got like 60 people coming and
They
asking
do.
me
And if you're gonna have a conversation, it should be one
No,
sided.
they don't.
They don't.
Yeah, like fuck.
Okay, hold the
Asking
phone.
questions.
No, it's like
Hold the phone.
No, just like a night. It's like instead of saying hello, it's kind of just like
it was like,
passing.
hey, how are you doing?
Just say hello to me.
That's good. I hope you have a wonderful
Don't not
time.
say the word
Bye.
school to me. I don't want to hear
It's
it.
not in passing. This is when you're like sitting down and you're seeing people you haven't seen in like.
Don't do that though, because there's like 80
got
of
me.
us.
It's like you talk with your family, and like you just make general conversation with
That's
the
a
food.
problem.
That's it.
That's a good thing about having Filipinos because it's like when you have to say hello, like you are of the understanding that you have to go and say hello to 60 other people.
Holy shit.
All right, but like when you're like these people, right? You have like one aunt and one uncle, maybe.
See, like I said, white people problem. What?
No, I'm with you guys. I have the big family.
Yeah, honestly, like
that, you usually go, hey, how's
Pretty
school?
much.
Good. But then
not
after
your
that,
name.
if you're like walking around and you see your aunt, and she's just like, oh,
never
look
been
at
a
you've grown
problem.
so big,
Okay,
and you're like,
well, what
oh,
about
thanks.
just, like, having
How's
family, like,
school?
strangers?
And you're like,
have you ever been?
you want to
Like, okay, so maybe have you ever?
I mean,
applied for a
strangers don't
job
talk.
anywhere?
No.
Put that out there. Let's just
I'd rather talk to a stranger than half my relatives. Like,
Ouch.
it's just there's relatives don't mean they don't suck.
That's the big oof.
I can agree, but ouch. Yeah, like
No, I mean even if like
the other half
even
are
if
cool,
I
but,
can
like, the
still
other half is,
extend the house school thing.
Exactly. I can say like,
I don't
oh,
understand. Like I don't understand why you can't say
there's
just
an immense
good.
amount of difficulty being like.
Because what else are you supposed to talk about? Like, oh yeah, I play fucking video games all day. Like, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
What I'm
honestly
trying to
agree.
say is,
I
I
haven't
don't
talked
want.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
honestly.
they don't know what you're talking
They don't know what
about.
That's their problem.
Okay.
Like they didn't know what I'm talking about if I actually talked about school anyway. I didn't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes, they will.
No.
They'll be like,
No.
hey, I was
You don't care about school, but you can still talk about it.
Yeah, you're
You can
like-
talk about video
I really
games,
can't
but
talk
they
about
don't-
school.
Like,
I really can't talk
we
about
were
school.
doing triple Instagram. It's like normal. Like,
Like,
triple. You knew how to work, and I wasn't knowing blah, and then you could just go on.
All right, sure, maybe.
They have something to relate to.
They don't know what the fuck computer
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. Okay, guys.
I was in fucking Korea.
Yo, on the phone. Okay. In order to not go with this, what I usually do is I say, what was your least favorite class, like today or during that? And then it's easier to talk about because one, it's a gripe, and two, it actually describes what you're doing in school.
I mean, I just hide for as long as possible not to talk to anybody. That's my strategy. It works
and it's
really
open-ended.
well.
You can't be like, was the school day
a
good?
fucking boomer, and you ask him like, "Oh, what was your least favorite class?" And it's like, "Oh, learning to count ducks in Salem." It's like, sick.
Salem,
Oh, I don't like this
Massachusetts.
class. And like everyone I've heard be like, oh, I fucking hated that class.
No, but you say
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm taking calculus right now." It's like, "Oh, you're really smart." And it's like, no, it's part of the curriculum.
Ask me who you're talking to.
No,
That's what happens, though. That's what happens.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Cookie then.
You say anything other than the word math, you're suddenly a goddamn genius.
Every relative.
Pre-algebra.
If I say anything less than
It's like,
No,
I'm a goddamn idiot. I don't know anything.
Same. It's like, oh, I think this is going on with the beat. They're like,
calm
so
down.
many
Oh,
kids.
so you got those judgmental looks.
yes.
all
They're
those
so small.
minority.
Yeah.
Like,
Fucking
Dude, you gotta figure it out better than all your other cousins. Are gonna have that.
No, yeah.
You're not doing better than them, then you're getting shit on.
No, but the thing is,
I've never had such
Yeah,
issues
exactly.
talking to older people. I've never had that issue. Like if my aunt or something comes and talks to me, and she'll just talk about like she'll ask me about school. I might mention like a class or something. Then she might talk about like one of my other cousins, and like that's it. Like I don't understand why this is such
sounds
a
extreme.
painful
That sounds.
conversation.
Oh my God.
This sounds incredibly
Okay,
painful.
so
I would.
I just don't like talking. to
I would
people.
sooner open up my own gut and just bleep it on the floor than listen to that.
Okay, so basically you're not good at talking to people. As well.
Really? Really?
you haven't
I was just
noticed.
learning that today. I didn't know
We had
that.
to
I was-
put
No, I
fucking
didn't, but, like,
microphones in
this
front
is
of everyone to get
ridiculous.
this conversation.
You're blowing out your
Oh man,
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I was on 1/4 gain, and Andrew made it clip.
this means we actually care about what we're talking about.
Exactly.
See, all right.
Arguing is
But
way
like,
more fun.
Yeah.
So at least
the worse
if they're
the
gonna ask
article
a
is, the
tedious
more we
question,
give a
don't you
shit.
think they
What,
should
we just gonna
follow
sit
it
around
up?
and talk about how much we agree? That's
I mean, if you give them
yeah.
a good, they're not gonna have anything to go off.
Yeah.
So you gotta
But
give
don't you
them
think they
something.
should?
No, I give them good, so they have nothing to go off.
It's
Wait,
not actually wanting a
hold up.
conversation.
But if they
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
it up, don't you think that if they're gonna ask a dumbass question, they should at least follow it up with something so that you can talk about?
Like, so
it, and
there
then
was
have the
substance,
decency
maybe? Like,
to
come on.
listen about it.
Like
even though you
compared
know
to
what
how
you're
was
but think about this,
school,
look,
or what was the
really,
worst
Right,
class you
because school is
had?
a universal subject for
Exactly.
everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Something
a
we
topic.
all understand.
Exactly.
That's why I like it.
Yeah,
Because it needs to create a small talk.
Decency.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
take math.
I don't. I feel like
fucking
I
Christ,
don't
you take
mind
math.
talking about school. Like if I just like sat down with my grandma and explained to her what happened in like our last Stellaris game for half an hour, like
You don't have
That's what I used to
jab
do.
my
That's
eyes out.
before
Like,
when she still like it was like all there when she.
But it's also like having the decency and like asking Cassie what she's been up to, and she goes on a fucking
Oh,
rant.
you have opened
about,
up a goddamn
Yeah,
like
again, she
mental
doesn't
phenomenon.
say-
Oh my god,
I'm
she
honestly
like
okay with that,
opens
because
a
then I can
black
just sit
hole.
and not talk.
That's true. I do prefer
I
that.
love when people just talk.
Yeah,
and-
that's true.
And
That's
if they're
true.
okay with me not talking and responding, I'm like, fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yo,
if all I have to do is just like
actually,
nod my
though,
head
I
and say
relate.
yes once.
Like if
or
there's
twice,
someone who's
that's
like really
perfect.
extroverted, and then you're
yeah,
just
I don't
like.
mind listening.
That's why-
Like yeah, I'm
Extrovert
fine with
and
listening and
extrovert
just
kind of,
adding
like,
a quick
coincide.
here or there.
Exactly.
But like,
Strangers
yeah,
don't
No
want
they're-
offense
talk,
to you,
but
Kevin, but
it's really
sometimes they'll
want
ask
They
you
want to
what
talk
sort of
about
math that
themselves.
you're
Yeah.
learning
It's when you
about.
listen to
And it's
them.
going over my head.
Introvert.
But I still want to hear
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah,
interested in
listen,
something.
you know.
Like two
No, yeah,
introverts
I have
just, like,
a
people talking over
roommate,
each other
and he's
trying to
like
get louder.
And they
really
butt
into
heads,
stuff.
And you've got two introverts.
Like
they
really
sit
into
there and
stuff.
say,
Wall
Like-
Street bets.
No, he's not.
yeah.
He's not like that. But he has like. He has connections,
okay,
dude. He
even-
goes to conferences like all over the
if the math
country.
goes over
He
your head,
like
it's still
has
something
like
that
3
you-
different
math
blogs that like
baseline is
many
something you
people who
understand.
are in like
That's not,
stock
explaining
communities
the
listen to.
mechanics
He's
of
done
a
like
space
multiple
strategy
interviews.
game.
The
Well,
dude
he's
is crazy.
70 years
But
old.
like,
presented as a space
if we
strategy.
say like,
Yeah,
"Hey, what
presented as,
stock
like, I'm
should I
playing this
invest
game
in?"
with my
He'll go,
friends,
"Oh."
where we
war.
try to
He will
say
go,
it's about
"Oh,"
war.
and it's
in
so
space.
fun to listen to
Dude,
him
you
just
don't
gush
think
about
your
something he
grandparents-
likes
I
so
don't think
much.
You talk about like Hoyt Ford. Talk about I play like a World War II game. It's like
Well, I
it's
think
not
about it
just-
as a-
you know,
It's entirely
you're like, oh, that's
possible.
kinda
You don't have to
cool.
talk to
Yeah.
them about that
I've
specific.
done that.
I don't do anything else. I don't know what to tell you. I can talk about school. I enjoy going to
Talk
school.
about history.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's
Oof.
it's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about history.
Like, yeah.
Guys,
White people.
ethnic connection.
No, it's just large
Fucking
family.
darkies
connections.
am I right?
Large family
Dude,
connections.
just hit him with
yeah.
A large family.
If I don't want to
sucks.
this also, I just hit him with
For
Yeah,
you.
Fine.
Because that's how we got family.
Yeah, no, like I
Large
like it.
family is happy family.
Like you
Right.
always have someone who wants to do something.
Exactly.
You're never
If
bored.
I don't want to talk, I'm just hit him with thanks. How's life? You're still alive. All right, bye. Like
Oh, I
that's
would
it.
love
Wait, like, have you, it's like all
Yeah, I'm
kids
just gonna
like,
go
like,
to the
if only it
garage
was
and
that
grab a
easy.
Sprite.
Right,
Like,
it's
I'll
usually
buy.
I
not
wish I could just be straight with
Exactly.
my relatives.
It's-
Just be
But
like,
if it
just be
turns
like,
into a conversation,
not give a shit.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's just
act
polite
like
reading,
I
you know,
care
and
about
they're
talking
pretending they're
to them.
interested in you, and then
Just
that's
be
it.
like, yo,
It's-
what's up?
Like,
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
Like with one of my cousins were like that. Like I won't see him for 2 years and be like,
Like-
what's up? That's it. And we're cool with it.
It's incredible.
I love it. And then there's the
But that's cool because like your one cousin, it's like if you do end up sitting next to one another, you can actually talk about something because you
Yeah.
haven't
'Cause it's
gone
not
through this
awkward.
awkward exchange where
I
it's
don't
like,
have to feel
how's
forced to be
school?
like, yeah, it's going great.
You know,
How-
school-
yeah,
Actually,
Scroll's
you know what?
fine,
You know
yeah.
what gets
My
families
cousins
talking?
are like my
silent.
best friends.
all right.
Or-
Well, okay. So what about like, all right, for you guys with the big families, right?
Yeah, so
Have you ever come to the point where like all the kids are like really bored and you have to figure out something to do?
No.
No,
No.
that never
No, because there's a
happens.
million of us.
Yes,
There's always
yes.
something to
There's
do.
always, and
They-
even the young ones are
most of
just
my
like,
cousins
let's
are
run
older than me,
around
so,
and
like, they
smack
take me out
things
with
with a
Yeah, no,
baseball bat.
It'll be 4 a.m. and the little ones are still
Yes.
running around.
Oh, there's this
Wild.
one cousin
Hey, let's do
I have.
stuff.
His name is
Yeah,
Jimmy.
no.
I don't wanna do
Every
anything.
single time he
everyone's
loses
really
his
old,
shoes,
so no one wants
they
to
will
play
always
anything.
be off somewhere in
Like,
the.
let's pick
It
one
was
house.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
all my
so
cousins are
fun.
my age.
Yeah,
We're pretty much.
yeah.
So we all just
I
like,
love it.
sit around and drink. So
There
it's
you
like-
go.
That's pretty much. That's
Big
family.
families.
I love them
It's
at that
solid.
age.
That's behind
Like,
family.
I don't
So I'm
get
like
it.
the
I don't
oldest-
get
I'm
it.
like the youngest, pretty much in my extended family. So now that I'm there, it's like.
I can't wrap my mind around this.
So that's the only reason I can talk.
No,
about
yeah,
family
like-
now. When I was
Like I'm so
My
used
whole
to
life
being
it
awake
sucks.
and being
Oh,
in
God.
charge of a bunch of little
Yeah, when we
kids.
actually had
Oh,
these things
no.
over, that
No,
was
because
like
the thing
my
is-
older
traumatic
cousins used to be in charge of
experience
me
almost
around
for me.
Now it's my turn.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
bad.
well,
Drink
like
is
I only
something that
have
adults
like
can understand. So it's like,
I only
you
have
drink,
2
yeah,
older
sure.
cousins.
Yeah.
Most of my
And
Universal.
they're both like one is an alcoholic,
Oh,
but
we got a
like
couple of those too.
The alcoholics in the family.
They know what the wine, what's on that wine page.
No, the dude.
That means they're
The
alcoholics.
dude is like one of those people who's like really into the craft beers, but will just drink beer because it's beer.
craft beer.
Yes.
My cousin.
Can I have some mead, guys?
Oh, no.
It's
Bougie
beer that
fucking
doesn't
craft
taste
beer.
like
I gotta look at this.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
It's $15.
And then the other one is
Guys,
like
can I have
a
some expensive
So, like-
hipster beer that doesn't taste any better than normal beer?
Like, if you're drinking beer,
Most beer
I got
is
some beer.
Like,
Beer.
if you're
Yeah, no,
drinking
what?
beer, why?
I just don't like
If you
it.
consider like a
Buy
bud
like the
a
cheap
5,
shit.
Yes.
like
Give me a
then
bud.
yeah,
If you wanna drink
like
something
I feel like
expensive,
if
make
a
it,
bud
like,
is 5,
high-end
and like
liquor.
in order to be
Exactly.
drinkable, you gotta be
You
like
spend money on fucking
6.5.
liquor.
Whiskey.
I got
Are you trying to
Guinness,
get drunk
like,
or
I don't
are you
like
trying to have a
Heineken.
good time?
Exactly.
No,
Like,
I
you
you
like
like
Guinness?
to sip on an expensive
Liquor
beer. Somebody
more.
get
Oh, damn.
drunk on like one
Like
beer.
I don't know. Dark
So if
beers
you're gonna
turn me
spend a lot of
off.
money, at least spend on
I
something
like
you can at least get
Well,
drunk.
if
You
it's
should
two
talk to
beers
my
that are,
dad.
like,
My
8 or
dad,
9%.
he went to
But if you just get like
he went to
fucking
Ireland
cases
or
of
no,
vodka for,
he
like,
went
the same
to
price,
Holland.
There's a lot of it.
And
so it
that's
doesn't
that's
matter.
like dad's cookout
Between
beer.
drunk
Like,
land
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
coffee.
you can water it
Yeah.
down.
No, he was in Holland,
Burgers,
and then to get
dogs,
back
you
home,
know.
he had to go from Holland to London to New York. And so on the London place, he saw this girl about my age, and she was drinking a Guinness. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, a young person drinking a Guinness." Oh wait, I've told this to Martin. My dad is an airplane person. Like it's like a train person.
Okay, so we have different breeds of people who use different
Yeah.
types of transit, right?
Oh, okay.
So there's
So
like
this is similar to
the
like
most-
It's a
right?
train
But
person,
this is-
but on the airplane.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
not a train or a bus
train
person. I've
people,
been with
like,
him on the
always
train
in
and the
a
bus.
weird
He's
you
not
see
one of those.
people who like have like men have like thinning hair, or they're like they have like a hoodie, but it's like dirty, and they sort of some of them have a funk about them.
Where
They're always the people to strike up a conversation with strangers for no reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll have like a nest of newspapers around them.
Oh no, that's
like
not.
you know the person.
Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can point them
Nah,
out a
not
mile
the
away, and
newspaper
you can usually
part,
smell
but
it
like,
coming.
no, my dad is an airplane
I
person.
had one of those guys.
So-
yeah, he had a skateboard.
So yeah, they were talking because the airplane person.
Oh, like the dude you sit next to just like starts talking.
Oh,
You're
Yeah,
like, this is
actually,
unwelcome.
I got my internship because he's an airplane person.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because so he had a business trip in London, and he was no. Actually, because they're both airplane people. Like two airplane people
Airplane
met.
people aren't as dangerous as train people because
Because-
airplanes are somewhat cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
If people just stay and talk to each
Yeah.
other, that's fine.
That's
Yeah,
Just
okay.
don't
so-
talk to the non-airplane people.
Just
So
also-
he was doing whatever, and it's a business trip, so he's in like business or whatever.
Business class.
Yeah,
Business
he's in
class.
business class, and like there's no one on the plane, and this one guy comes and he sits right next to my dad, like there's open seats everywhere, and he's like, wait, what? Like this is my
that's
dad.
Like, that's like having an empty bathroom and the guy stands next
Yes,
to you.
yes. But like.
It's like,
But like those two get to talking and they talk for hours. Like the entire plane ride, there's nothing but like them just talking. And I feel bad for anyone else who was in the shot. But like they were talking and my dad was talking about us kids and he was like, "Oh yeah, my one son, he's at Rutgers. He wants to do actuary stuff." And he's like, "Wait, really? I'm the head of this department at an insurance company and we're looking for interns."
oh my god.
And so he's like, "Oh yeah, here's my business card. Just send me something my way." Yeah. It was way too lucky, but yeah, it was a fun time. Airplane people. Airplane people.
Or have connections.
Somewhat benevolent.
Especially business,
Yes.
especially a business class.
Oh god.
Business class
not
airplane people.
Yeah, not a coach.
No,
Not-
No.
It wasn't on a bus at that point.
Yeah, it's just a flying bus.
Usually,
No,
it's
but
It's
like
their street.
normally it's not business. You always just go coach. But like this was a business trip, so
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
But
might as well splurge a little bit.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
some creature comforts.
Oh man.
Oh, but the train people, dude. I had this one guy.
Let's watch train or bus people.
Bus people.
Greyhound
Bus
bus people.
Oh my goodness. Greyhound bus.
Oh,
But they can't train.
the Greyhound
bus.
no.
That's the lowest
I've been on a Greyhound.
Oh
bus.
my god, this is so hard to say.
Next to
always thought
Where'd you go?
Polar, like subway
oh my
creatures.
gosh, it was from.
I think
it
it's
was
all
from
people.
I
They're
think just New York
creatures.
to Albany.
There's a subreddit.
So-
Subway creatures.
New York
so
to Chicago
like,
Greyhound.
They're already.
Oh no! That's
You know,
bad.
like,
That's bad.
How
Yeah.
you just
I
pay
spent
to get into
21
somebody's
hours
system,
on
and
a
you don't-
Greyhound
you can
bus.
just basically
Ask me
stay
how
on
I'm
subway,
alive.
you don't have to pay to, like,
The
take
woman
a
next
car.
to me had schizophrenia.
People,
It
you
was
can just
a
make your own.
nightmare.
Oh my
Live in
god.
there and not
Dude,
have to pay tickets.
We
honestly,
stopped in
my
Cleveland. It was all.
Oh,
my Greyhound bus experience wasn't that bad because it was only like a bit over an hour.
yeah,
Like New York
usually
to
it's like
Albany.
a short, it's like an
Yeah.
hour, yeah.
But
What's
like
the hour was?
21 hours.
21
An
hours.
hour on a Greyhound.
Oh no.
Yeah, like a cross-country Greyhound, that's like...
That's like you
You're
just have
done.
the worst- You just have a bunch of drifters who at least rape 3 people. Like,
You're done.
Yeah. Yeah,
One
Goodbye.
of them has warrants out for them.
Varying numbers of teeth below
they're
the
just
median.
constantly on the Greyhound.
Chasm,
avoiding
was this
the police.
before or after the leukemia?
This was after.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Because, Greyhound bus people.
Might have given you cancer, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Might have
It's in
slipped a
the air.
leukemia needle.
Yeah,
into
you
the
might
luggage.
have just done on one too.
Leukemia blow darkness.
Oh god.
And like the dart is just like it's not even.
There's like certain like
shaped like a
things
little,
you never go on a
fly.
Greyhound. You don't take Virgin Airlines. It's not supposed to be an emergency. Like
No, I've been on
It's like a
Virgin
mosquito or
Airlines.
something. It's
not.
No,
It's a
usually-
leukemia needle.
Oh yeah, I usually do United,
United.
but yeah, but Virgin Airlines wasn't bad. It's basically just whatever's cheapest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Virgin hits you with those hidden fees. You go fast and quick on Virgin.
Fast and quick, he says.
Fast, but also quick.
Two separate words.
Yeah.
Alright, so let me tell you about this one guy, this one train dude. Okay, so
Train
I'm getting
man.
I commute from Tawako to Hoboken.
Okay.
Like every day. So it's I am aware of the train people. And they're
There's
not
like the
always
Taco
not
station, like the other-
yeah, they're not always easy to spot because you can never tell if it's just like a guy or if it's a trained person. But usually they have like certain mannerisms. There's certain
They
things
have-
that set them apart.
They have a little
Woken.
ticks.
Yeah.
So here's
They're like
here's
fucking- they're
what
like
got me.
six
All right,
or
Yes.
I was at Montclair State. All right, I was gonna get off at Little Falls, so
Right.
it goes Montclair State and then Little Falls is the next station. But it's a little bit. It's like a 10-minute thing. So what set me off was that these two ladies were talking about like shoes and like having to return it to like Amazon or some shit. So it's just like it's whatever. It's just casual conversation, two friends talking, right? And they get off at Montclair, and this guy who is standing in between, right? And usually around Montclair, there's plenty of seats.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone left standing, that's a warning sign. Second warning sign came when he was apparently eavesdropping slightly on these two people. Now, these two people weren't talking quiet by any means, so he just made like a comment like, haha, hope you figure out those shoes, haha. It's just like,
No, you don't talk to people. Like
yeah,
that.
I'm talking to people. Alright, so that set off
That's
some
a warning
alarm.
sign.
How did
Spidey
the
senses
Right,
going
yeah.
off.
So like I was like so naturally I was a little buzzed right then. I was just like the hairs on the back of my neck were starting to stand up.
Like, you
So right, so I'm like because I'm getting off at Little Falls, I stand up and I'm starting to like get my shit together. Now this guy obviously he's like a vulture. He's like circling around looking for the next person to talk to. And I just happened to be like in that little row of seats specified for like the handicapped people. So I was like I was the guy. So I was wearing an Ithaca sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Because I was going out with Sam Grossman at the time, so she was so I was repping the homies, and so he's like, oh, Ithaca College. He didn't actually talk like that. It's just funnier if I talk like that. I was like, yeah. He's like, you go to Ithaca? I'm like, no, I go to Stevens. I have a girlfriend and she goes there. And he was like, oh, Stevens, that's a good school. You smart kid. I'm like, I guess so, haha. I'm just like trying to get my shit together, put my coat on, and he's like, where'd you go to high school? I'm like, Montville. He's like, oh yeah, my daughter goes to Montville. Is going to go to a school in Montville. So the fact that he presented it that way leads me to believe that he's not in full custody of his child. Because it's like you say, oh, my daughter's going to so-and-so school, right? Because if you're in Montville, you would say one of, like, the 5 elementary schools, Lazar, or the high school, right? Naturally. But he's saying, my daughter's starting school in Montville next year.
Yeah, so like
So
you don't live there.
Obviously, like
Yeah.
you do not have full access to your daughter,
And you're on a train, and you're talking to people,
and
but
you're talking to people,
And you just
and
made
you're-
that
the
joke, which
internal
means you're
profile
broken.
in your head of this person, like this internal Facebook profile, is just like fucking.
Yeah. So
Red
I'm just like,
flags all around.
so I'm like full buzz, like fight or flight mode is starting to engage.
Skip
My
the hell
adrenal
out of it.
glands are like getting squeezed. So this guy is like, he's like, yeah, lots of Indian people in Montville, right? I'm like, I guess.
One town off.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, would you say
We're the
that-
Jewish town.
So he's
No,
like,
no, you guys-
Persephone is Indian. Bhutan's Mexican.
Oh yeah.
but there are a
but you
fair
guys
number of Indian
have
kids, right?
nothing to compare.
Yeah.
But
Because
there are
Edison.
Indian
Well,
kids.
Parsippany is so overwhelmingly
Edison.
Indian.
Oh,
it is
yes.
Indian.
Oh my god.
But
Montville's
that's-
Jewish.
yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're not half Jewish.
Well, Montville is like, but he was like, yeah, some Indian kids there. I'm like, haha, yeah. He's like, would you say that they're smarter than maybe Caucasian kids?
Talking to a random person, asking if Indians are smart. at
I'm
your
just
high
like,
school.
I was sort of in a lot of like the smarter people classes because I go to Stevens, and yeah, I guess there was some smart guys.
Oh, I would've-
He's like, not a lot of stoner Indians, not like compared
I don't know,
to
man. You got the
Caucasians.
big
You got
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said like
he goes
white
to
kids or
Rutgers.
like Asians. I was like,
Who is
I
this
was like,
guy?
I was like, who is this skeleton dude?
Oh, dude, that's so scary.
he's like,
I still don't know what the fuck his motive is.
I don't know. I was just
It's
like,
because
I
he's
didn't
skelly.
think- It's not like he was talking shit about Indian people. Like he
No,
seemed
he's
like
just
Indian.
He's wrong with
them.
How old is this dude?
He's maybe like 35.
Oh, okay, never mind. Now excusable.
Okay.
No, because like sometimes
No, I
older
would say
people are
35 is,
like
like, the
racist, but not in a bad way. Just kind of like.
But
just
he's like,
yeah,
yeah,
just
they're
like,
biased.
yeah.
They had a bias.
Yeah.
Because if they're
Yeah.
like 60 and talking to me weird, I feel like they're gonna stab me. You know? And
Oh yeah,
they're
it's it's more dangerous but this guy is more dangerous because he's unpredictable. Like I don't know if he has like a gun, if he has a knife.
No, fuck.
I don't know.
I don't know
he
if
has,
his next question is gonna fall out with a knife in my
I don't know if
throat.
he's
I don't know if he's
20.
gonna Bill Cosby me.
He's got AIDS on like his fingernails or something.
You don't know if he's gonna make you
Just,
do the
he has some like
JFK
AIDS
head
on the
thing.
finger and he just gives you a quick scratch on the cheek.
So this guy's just like asking me weird ass questions about Indian people, and it's not like he was like talking shit. He like thought
Just
that they were like
genuinely
better.
curious.
He's just like yeah, lots of like maybe. I
Was
was like
he-
I guess
was he
like
white?
they're like
He was white.
He was white. which is extra.
I already know. An Indian cucked him.
Oh, that's
Oh, his wife is
That's
Indian.
what I'm thinking. His daughter's
His daughter's half
Indian.
Indian, of course.
And he was
Oh.
just like he's just worried because maybe like this was like his half daughter, you know, like
He feels like fragile.
he was
He's like,
supposed
oh no, I don't
like-
want my daughter to suck
like-
with no Indians.
like maybe he like raised her part way, but then he realized like this kid ain't mine. So like and then like the wife left him, and then so now he's like
Now
he
he's
still
just
feels ownership.
Now he's
over
sitting
it,
on a
but
train
he's
talking
just, like,
to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
and, now,
disappointed.
and like I guess like the girl, like the kid turned out part Indian, 'cause,
Oh.
like or something like. So like he's
Yeah.
just thinking like maybe in
He's
his
just like
skeleton
Indian.
brain
He
that
just has, like, a fetish, you know?
Maybe he does.
Smooth brain.
Maybe he just has like an Indian fetish.
his smooth skin brain. He's like this guy's a fucking ghoul, but like he's like, he,
Yeah,
must,
you're talking
he
about-
must think that
He has
like
no
Indians,
grooves
like,
in
he
his head.
just
He's
wants-
just a smooth
It's just a
brain.
fucking
No
wild,
grooves.
dude.
he just thinks that like
So he has
these-
no
this
brain. That's
Indian
what you're
guy, like,
telling me.
this Indian his Indian half child like must have some sort of innate betterment about them just because like they're Indian or something. So he's like not a lot of stoner Indians. I'm like, huh, I guess not.
I guess not.
It's just like I mean, there are dumb Indian kids and there are like smart Indian kids
Sigh.
and they're like in the middle.
Sigh.
There's every it's my
Sigh.
son.
Wait,
Oh,
your
yeah,
weed club
yeah,
friends.
What?
It's like haha, hope I'll never see you again. Bye.
No, wait, but like, how much do you know about Psy?
Nothing. Just
He's
that
a
he bothers me.
fucking tumor child.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he's a
he turned
son.
into an alcoholic.
What?
Good.
Yes.
Wait, no. We're talking
Doesn't
about a
surprise
different
me.
side. I'm
Wait,
assuming.
who?
I'm
Wait,
talking
the
about an
Psy.
Indian kid who
He's
is
like
a year
David
younger
Bowie.
than me and him.
Oh, no. This is
Yeah.
an Indian kid who was over sometimes because he's part of David's friends.
Yeah, David
Oh.
brought him
Oh, I know
over
you're
one time when we
talking-
were
no, I
all
was
in.
I
thinking-
know.
David's
Remember,
house.
remember
Wrong
I was thinking
Guys
of
are
a kid-
Tushar. He sent his dick pic to every girl in his grade.
Oh,
What?
That's
What?
Skelly. That's
Wait,
Skelly.
Ah, it happened.
I know.
So, like, can you
Is that
blame
the
a kid?
Tushar? Is that-
I-
Blame a guy for trying.
Absolutely.
This was a Motley Tushar.
That's
Ask
Skelly.
him.
Dad.
You
That's
call it
Skelly.
creepy. I call it casting a wide net.
That's
I call it an alpha move.
I mean, you
You're
think
talking
I
by,
about
call
Jordan
that
went
a
to my
skeleton.
I mean, by
Mama.
probability,
That-
someone's
yeah,
gonna
that's
appreciate it.
Nah.
It's
He's
like
like a
off
great
chance.
old-
It's like
old-
swiping
no,
right
It's
after
the
lunch.
shotgun
Never
approach.
mind.
But
This is a
like,
Model 2 Char went to my high school.
no. Oh,
That's
that's
a good one.
that's
a good move. That's an alpha.
That's an alpha.
That's an
move.
omega move.
That's
That's an Omega move.
wasn't Gitam an Omega? Wasn't that the joke about Gitam?
yeah,
I
that
think
was the
so. He
joke.
wasn't even a beta, he was an
He was
Omega.
doing a beta.
Dude, everything is just, it's fucking sine wave. So if you just go so far, you just integer overflow into being extremely alpha if you just keep going down.
Yeah,
That's exactly
Dude, so
Doesn't
you
work
have
for
to
Brandon
get, so you
Tate.
have to actually oppose alpha.
Oh!
Oh yeah, dude.
It pretty much worked for Dylan.
Oh,
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't fucking, he's an enigma.
Dylan is like, I'm not even sure he's a human, honestly. He's just
Dylan's fine.
What a creature.
Fucking get
Dylan's
All
a
right, Eric,
skeleton.
the
He's
first
probably
time I
a-
met him,
he's
right?
probably a
He
serial
walks
killer,
down
though.
the stairs, I see the long hair, and I was like, that's fucking Dylan, isn't it?
The
I
first
fucking-
time
Dude, he used to have like buzz cut hair until like junior year. of
Yeah,
high
he
school.
did, he did.
He had like
Oh.
my hair. Yeah, he looked exactly like. It was weird.
kinda weird. Little weird.
Our first introduction to Dylan was
Oh god.
Andrew put him in our Discord server, and he put a bunch of pictures of dead people.
Oh no.
So,
Well, I freaked him out with the Christian Ninja Force video. Remember that one?
He did, yeah.
I actually freaked him out. That's not
He
easy to
doesn't
do.
get you. He does it.
He doesn't.
oh no,
funny.
because we can go like in the complete like a completely separate tangent, and we fuck with him so hard. He's not ready for
because he
it.
hates not understanding people. He
can't
loves just
read me.
talking to everyone and understanding.
Yeah,
everyone.
but he can't read me.
No,
He
he
cannot read me.
Hardly anyone can.
Exactly. And it bothers him.
You're like that one book that
Andy
people found,
Precious.
but they can't translate it at all, and they're not even sure if the words have any meaning.
Have you seen Andy Precious?
No.
Are you sure?
No. I don't
It's
know.
the
Dylan showed
best
everybody
video
last night.
ever.
Wait, what?
Dylan showed it to everybody that last night.
Oh wait. Oh, the short
Yeah,
video
you
of you.
saw
Yeah, that
I
one.
did see. I did see
Precious.
that.
Yeah, he saw it.
We actually all watched it before you were at my house.
And then you watch it after I got there.
Yeah, that's true.
It has like maybe 60 views at this point, and I'm like pretty sure half
It's-
those are mine.
Yeah. I don't think anyone who's not like one of us has ever
So
watched
good.
it.
Is that on YouTube, Paco?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It'd be good.
That's a Dylan found it.
1080p.
1080p, boys.
All of our podcast videos are in 1080p, even though it's
Even
basically
though
a
it's
still
just
image.
audio.
Static
So good. See, I think I was onto something with promotional memes.
You were.
Yeah.
Just like if we just like do
And you
memes
think-
about us and make them like promo bumpers, like I think we could get a good cult following.
Well, that's
going.
because podcasts are about the people, like that. They're about the personalities, right? So if you make memes about the certain people, that's how you get.
This is
Yeah,
not gonna
exactly.
come out well on
Memes
the
are-
mic.
Or the hook.
It's advertising. Memes are advertising.
That's meme.
They
market's
they watch all the memes and
movies are
excited to
bad.
get here. There's
Ah.
nothing.
Yeah.
We're not
Panther,
like
what are
our slash
those?
fellow
Tell
kids,
me
right?
about it, like-
We are. See, we're sort of like above.
No, you know.
Above the grain because we can sort
You
of
know
get
what?
on the
Did
meme
memes
pipeline
right?
before it
Eighth
trickles
grade.
down to Twitter and Facebook
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Instagram.
I'm
Eighth
sure
grade,
way,
the thing
Yeah,
directed
like
by Bo
I got
Burnham.
on that Andy
Oh, yeah,
Precious
yeah,
thing
when we were talking
like
about
the
that.
minute it started getting
It
popular.
was-
Pretty much, yeah.
I recommend it. It's
and it still
basically a
holds
horror
up
movie.
because it's funny.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
hilarious.
It's like,
It's
you
just-
guys, oh, that's a meme.
It's
These
just
guys know what.
eighth
These
grade.
guys know
Like
what's up.
legit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Even if you
it's
don't
just
know who
like
that is, you're
reliving
like, alright,
eighth grade.
those guys
And
are-
it was
Yeah.
it was like a horror movie, but it was
it's
so
good to be
good.
self-aware.
It did
Yeah.
so
It is.
much, and the actors were all amazing. Like
Fuck up, Christian.
like every
Let's
single.
talk about eighth grade.
It was average.
The movie.
No, the
okay.
movie by Bo
Never
Burnham.
seen it.
It was
Yeah,
like
I didn't-
like
I didn't-
it felt
I
so
didn't see it.
real. Like
Yeah.
if there was a slice of life thing, that was the most real slice of life I've ever seen.
I need to see it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it was basically a horror movie. Because it's a slice of life about your 8th grade experience. That's
I
a
like
horror
that.
movie.
Ugh.
That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
That's if someone just like threw, if I was like some kind of VR thing and they just threw me back into 8th grade, I'd die.
Alright, so.
Hey, if I get to redo high school.
Oh my god, imagine a VR experience, but it's literally just
Just
like
memories.
middle school.
I kill myself.
Imagine a
It's
VR.
just like a few days in middle school.
It'd be
Just
great
start
for
me in freshman
pedophiles.
year. Just
And then just
Oh,
go,
no, that's what it'd be used for.
redo
That's what it would be used
It'd be a
for.
trap.
It'd be great for
Oh my gosh,
pedophiles.
we make a VR
Be so
where you
good
pretend
for
to be an
pedophiles.
8th grader. It attracts pedophiles. We get their IP addresses. Boom.
I have an idea.
I'm pretty sure the FBI already
Show
does
people-
that.
I think so.
They have like a
Put it on
deep
the
fake
head,
that
and
like
then they can't see
impersonates
it.
like a little Filipino girl who's like
Definitely,
12.
100%.
Oh
And then,
my
like-
gosh, I bet they have that. But do they have it in VR?
Not yet. I don't think they're
Exactly. We
But then
make
they'll
that
have-
VR.
Andrew, I got
We
it.
make it a
funny.
You show
reality.
someone like a Vive, right?
We got it.
They
We
try
got
it on.
We'll make
completely
big
exposed.
bucks.
You steal their kidney.
Yeah, selling it to the government.
It's
It's
classified
it's basically a
15 years after
blindfold.
It's perfect.
Right?
It's
There you go.
perfect.
Right, Martin?
What?
I said it's like a what you do. You get a Vive, right? And you're like, hey, try this on, and they put it on, and then you steal their kidney. It's like a
Shit,
blindfold.
you're right.
It's like a blindfold.
It's like, here.
And then like the Vive will pay for itself with kidney.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, after
You get
like
the same
2
vibe.
kidneys, it's
Yeah,
probably
like,
already
yeah,
made
exactly.
it.
No,
You're set.
it's like I'm gonna do
Oh
like
my
a
God.
winter VR thing, and then you just put them on ice so they don't realize their kidney's gone.
Yeah, boom.
What?
Boom.
Boom.
This is surreal. It's just-
So many
it's
wheels.
so clear.
It's like
What an absolute unit.
that's the alpha.
Just put a fucking bunch of wheels on him and he's just sliding around his entire body. Like fucking,
That's an
like a
alpha.
cannonball,
Dude, that's
like
an
cannonball.
alpha.
Guys, who's your favorite Ben 10 alien?
The really tiny
Uh,
one.
forearms.
This
Oh,
forearm,
Diamond Head.
Diamond
And
Head,
Head.
I don't
Only
remember
correct
Diamond
answer.
Head.
Fly,
Oh,
Rip Jaw,
thing.
Slipknot.
What was the one that was like
Yeah,
a
that's the one.
cannonball? Was it just called cannonball?
Rope
Oh,
burn.
cannonball.
Cannonball,
Oh,
Cannonball.
guys, why is the new Ben 10 so bad?
Oh, it's awful.
Ginger
Because
I don't know.
they rip on nostalgia and that's it.
No, but it's
No, but like
worse.
I'm not there anymore. Like I'm not the
Megatron.
they're not ripping nostalgia from me.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
The
got
krill.
The krill.
It's so bad, guys. It's so
Remember like the bad
Our
guy
our
who's,
Ben
like,
10 isn't canon
octopus
anymore.
head?
Really?
Yeah, because that's, they rebooted it, so ours isn't canon anymore.
Canon's
Oh.
relative. Whatever's in your head is canon.
Honestly, yeah.
I had
freaking
canon
weird.
like half of Star Wars
Authorial
movies.
intent.
A lot of Star Wars.
How
Probably
terrifying!
thing.
How
Actually,
terrifying was
everything
Flapjack?
Holy
Oh,
fuck.
Flapjack was so scary,
my
dude.
God.
Dude, those
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Remember Nichols?
Oh, I was just gonna say that!
Oh,
Dude!
Nichols. You guys
Knickles!
remember Knickles?
Oh, Knickles.
Oh, it's like
Holy fuck.
But I got
That
Nickels.
Flapjack is terrifying.
That's like
The whole thing was fucked.
that
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
show is so messed
Oh.
up.
It is. It
Dr.
really is.
Barber.
Oh, no,
my God.
Dr. Barber!
Candy Wine.
Oh,
Peppermint
no.
Larry and Candy White.
Oh, that was so messed up.
He is so
Name a more iconic duo. I'll wait.
Cat dog.
Oh
God.
fuck. Was that one? Was that one? Was
Yeah.
that one person or two?
Cat Dog was one entity.
It was one thing. Yeah, they were just connected.
Yeah, it was
like,
one.
they had the same
I like the mouse from Cat Dog.
Oh,
I don't remember.
Remember Ren and Stimpy?
Yes.
Oh, that was
Oh
weird.
my God.
That wasn't. Yeah.
That was weird.
That
But, like,
My
even
grandma
certain
forbade
parts
me
of
from
like Courage
watching
the
it.
Cowardly
Yeah.
Dog was terrifying.
Oh, Courage the Cowardly
No,
Dog.
no,
was
like,
terrifying.
That
It's
creeped me out.
It's pretty
Oh, hell
terrifying.
yeah,
right?
creeped everybody out.
Yeah,
It
it's
creeped me
terrifying.
out as an
No,
adult.
no. You know what creeped me out as a kid?
No, Ren and Stimpy was the
Ned's
worst.
Declassified.
Why?
And that one episode with one bite.
Why?
Do you remember the guy who would
There's
just eat anything with one
I
bite?
know, but
Wait,
It was
explain it.
creepy to me as a
Well, he
kid.
just ate
No, no, no.
Like, he was this
Ren
kid.
and Stimpy was the worst for me. I just,
No, so one bite was this kid at lunch, and like if you didn't like eat your lunch fast or something, like
No. He'd
Why
be
can't
the
you
person
say
who's
no,
like,
don't eat
"Ooh,
my
that
food?"
looks cool. Could I just have a bite?" And they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Okay, sure." And then he'd like unclench his jaw and like swallow the
Wait,
thing.
really?
Yes.
I don't remember
That
this.
fucked
I don't
me
remember
up
that
as a
at all.
kid.
No, I remember that.
That's
I just
a fucking-
And then like
suddenly.
suddenly like it turned into like everyone knew about one bite. So then when he went into the lunchroom, like all the lights went off and everyone was screaming and running away from this dude.
I
And he
know,
was
I
just
know.
looking
I
at
feel
him
like if we
menacingly.
went back and watched
Like,
that now, like you
sure
wouldn't
there wasn't a
understand.
bad
I know I
Maybe
wouldn't,
not
but it
actually.
fucked
I'm
me
not
up
sure
as a
that's a
kid
real
so
answer.
I
bad.
don't
Ren
think
and
Stimpy's
Stimpy so
classified.
good. Like, analyze
What?
it.
You
Yeah, no.
I am one bite. I have embraced one
It's
bite.
one bite, man.
We need Ned's Declassified memes, which is shit like.
Oh yeah, true. Nesty
where it's just
Classified
like-
has to get memed.
Yo,
Like,
Coconut
palm
Head is the
prints.
stuff. Coconut Head.
Coconut head.
I remember that guy.
Coconut head.
Like-
Was it Susie Crabgrass?
It was Susie.
Susie
It was
Crabgrass was the girl that
Susie.
you liked.
Yeah.
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 Crabgrass.
Which is like still better than the.
That was probably a jabber vagina.
Yeah.
My,
Probably.
my personal opinion.
No, it's basically majority opinion.
Who was the other girl?
I don't even
Mosley.
know.
Mosley.
Mosley.
Okay, guys, Susie Crabgrass is better than Mosley.
Yeah, obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Is she? No, but she's ethnic, Andrew. I don't think you'd like her.
Yeah, but he had it in with Mosley. She was
like
there.
100%
She was
Spanish.
available.
She's much better than all.
I don't actually.
At least she's not Black.
Mostly was the
Wait,
black
what was the
What?
name of
Mostly
that
was
one
the girl
guy?
with
the other
nerd
one.
with
The
the
other one.
glasses?
Cookie.
That's Cookie.
I
That was the black guy.
That was a guy.
Cookie was lit.
There was no black girl.
He's
There was
What are we
no
talking
black-
about right
Ned's
now?
That's the
the
last-
Yeah, I know.
Cookie's
What
the
specific
fucking
Google?
Google
I know who
glasses.
Cookie. I know what the characters are.
No, you don't.
Mosley.
You obviously don't, because
No.
you thought Mosley was black.
No, she's not black.
Mosley is
No,
the
she's
girl with
white.
the brown
Yeah,
hair.
no, she's white.
Mosley, and Susie Crabgrass is the girl that he liked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like
Tell
Susie
me what else
Crabgrass
like.
better.
Describe her to
Dude,
me.
he had an in with Mosley.
Generic woman.
No, very specific. Susie Crabgrass. Yeah.
Woman number 3.
Yeah, she's Walking Dead now. She's
Oh,
really?
That
Actors,
thing,
not
is that
people.
show still going? The Walking Dead has
Yeah,
been bad.
Default Skyrim Nord.
Yeah, it's called Skyrim Nord.
The Sky's rim belongs to the North.
Skyrim Nord F2.
Susie
What the fuck?
Crabgrass.
How did I end up here? Alright. There it is. And I can find a picture of Mosley.
Alright.
Andrew has to pick.
Well, wait.
Do you remember that episode of Ned's Declassified where it was like the popularity? Like someone made an arbitrary list of the most popular
God,
people.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was just like a traveling tornado of people.
Yeah.
And someone stuck Mosley on there and she just kept sucked back into it. I
Yeah.
can't speak.
Suck!